What's up, fight fans? We are back at it with another edition here at Round One Sports TV. I am always your host, Edwin. And where do all fights start? Round one. We have an amazing show for you here today. We have a lot to break down. It's going to be a recap of all the fights and much more. Anything you would like to talk about, we can talk about this Jack Catterall and Arnold Barboza situation. Woohoo! It was a better fight than I thought. Better fight, and Arnold Barboza truly showed up. He had a game plan. We'll talk about it. As you know, here at Round One Sports Talk, we aim to give you some of the topic, aim to talk about some of the top boxers in the world, bring you the latest news. And you know that we always give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Some of my comments, some of the people think that I hate Tank for some reason, but I dared you to show me just one clip of me saying that Tank sucked as a fighter. You're not going to find it. So you should watch the rest of my video because as much as I break one thing down, I'll also show you the benefits to it and what I think about it. So look, stick with me here at Round One Sports TV. If do me a favor, hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Yo, I just noticed that my thing has been glitching out. My intro. Maybe I gotta go fix that later. So, wow, man, huh? Jack Catterall, man, they had the night set up for him, and I guess he couldn't reel that interim title in. Arnold Barboza had other plans, man, and I like that fight in a lot of different ways. I went back and I watched it, right? And I like the fight in a lot of different ways because of the fact that it really revealed something about Jack Catterall and what he's doing. Meaning, he's trying the same approach with every fighter now because he found success with it, right? And they got too much film out on him with that same style. He fought Regis Progress the same way. And Arnold Barboza, what he did that Regis Progress was not able to achieve, he was able to push him back. He threw the 1-2 straight, not on the outsides block and allowing him. He put a lot of pressure on Jack Catterall, and then when he would engage and have success, he wouldn't stop. He would throw his combinations, and I heard the announcers being a little biased towards Barboza. Yo, they were saying Jack Catterall was scraping him, this, that. I'm watching the fight. I'm like, that's not what I'm seeing. Yo, Arnold Barboza, man, the entire time, man, he looked good. He looked pretty quick. He was doing the same thing, but I said to myself, that's the plan. That's the strategy that they're using to beat Jack Catterall. If he doesn't pick up on it, then that's not his fault. Because, see, he already relied on the fact that he was going to be sitting back and that he would catch Arnold. He just baited in the notion that he's bound to make a mistake, that his training won't hold up, right? And then I guess he was going to try to take him out to deep waters and then drown Barboza, but Barboza had a life jacket on. You know what I mean? He had the little rubber ducky around his thing. He wasn't drowning. He wasn't drowning. He was there with him every round, every step of the way. Boom, 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 boom. Congratulations, man. Now, doesn't that make him the interim to Teofimo Lopez's belt? Teofimo Lopez got the 140 the last time I checked. I know he ain't been representing it. And since, he ain't fought no good fighter since Josh Taylor. So we barely know that he's doing anything with that damn belt. So I said Jermaine Ortiz. I like that fight. And I think Jermaine won that fight. But hey, it is what it is, right? So what the fuck is, now what Teal's going to say? He ducked him back then. Is he going to duck him now? He's getting older, so maybe Teal will fight him. I don't know. I would like to see Teal fight Subriel Matias. Now, Subriel Matias is fighting March 1st. Let's get that fight right there out of the way. It's for a title eliminator. And Subriel is creeping his way back up all the ranking systems. Did you guys check it out? For the IBF, he's ranked number 3. But you might as well say Subriel Matias is ranked number 1 by the IBF right now. Why do I say that? There's nobody in the number 1 or 2 slot. It's empty. And if Subriel's ranked number 3, bro, that basically makes you number 1. So I guess what it's going to do with this fight is the IBF is going to decide on other IBF contenders in their ranking system. And what they'll probably do will probably be like, wait for the fights to conclude. Subriel Matias' fight. What's up, Bam Bam? What's up, Frontline? How you guys doing in the building? And, they want to see where fighters, ironically, right? George Kambosos is still ranked number 5. But like I said, you would basically be saying George Kambosos is number 3 right now. In fact, because there's no number 1 or 2. You know what I mean? So Subriel is actually number 1. And then when Subriel finishes his fight, I bet you they're going to put him in that number 1 slot. Jack Catterall just lost, right? You know what ranking he dropped down to? 2. He dropped down in the rankings. He's number 2 this morning. I'm like, damn, man. My man Subriel lost. He went down to number 6. Liam Barrow lost. He went down to number 6. Right? And I'm like, these dudes lose in other ranking systems? Bro, you lose up number 2. You lose your belt. You can fight a guy ranked 58 and 88 and get a number 1 ranking if you mess with the WBA and your MJ. And you got a promoter like Ed Hearn. You can get a mysterious ranking and have the whole world thinking you're rightfully so a mandatory and that the greatest fighter of our era is ducking you. You can have the world fooled. Some of these ranking things, man, that's why it confuses a lot of us. Because all the ranking systems don't function the same. Loma still holds on to that freaking belt. Yeah. Now, the situation with Loma is this. Check this out. Everybody's getting stripped with their belt in the IBF. Now, the IBF is the closest thing we got to what I believe is the best belt organization and the structures and the rules that they hold. That's the closest we got. And this kind of Wild Wild West game, where media and fame can get you a number 1 ranking without fighting veritably no one. You know what I mean? But the IBF does pay attention. The IBF hasn't stripped Loma because Loma and his team knows how to play the game. It's a fact. The IBF already threatened to strip Loma. They already gave him a deadline to let us know if you're going to defend the belt or you're going to retire, and we'll take our belt and keep it boxing, right? They already did that to Loma. They gave Loma a dead night to the first of this year from last year, from when he walked away from negotiation table with Top Rank from allegedly Tank Davis. And Loma knows how to play the game. He got some doctor, whatever x-rays for his back, and they submitted all that paperwork, whatever it was. Don't hold me on a fucking x-ray. He never submitted an x-ray. No, I'm just, that part right there, I don't know what they submitted, bro. I'm being honest. Whatever he submitted to the IBF, they gave him an extension. So this is all public. I already know about all this. But the IBF has been on Loma's ass. They're like, yo, but Loma knows how to play the game. He's been around Olympics after Olympics, and he's dealt with situations. He tried to sue Devin Haney. Remember when I'm going to appeal the decision. You guys robbed my son. They threatened to sue Devin Haney. Loma's threatened to sue a few fighters already in a few situations over discrediting one of the man. Listen, so they've been, the IBF has been like they be on fighters, man, and I like that. I like that. When they stripped Usyk, that was a strong statement, and the whole world was like, man, fuck the IBF. They're assholes. Usyk wasn't even champion a week. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, would you like me to explain it? And I explained it to the world, and I told them, when Usyk made that rematch clause with Tyson Fury, you need to check in with the organizations to see what schedule they had. One of the biggest jokes in all of boxing is, if you're an IBF champion, you better check in with them. The IBF reminds the fighter, you don't control boxing. You don't run shit here. You think that that's your belt, huh? No, that's our belt. All you champions are the same. That you come and you go. But the IBF belt stays right there. And that boxing ring you fight in, that's our world stage. We've created this collectively through among 4 organizations. And you think you're going to tell us that you're just going to go off and fight whoever the fuck you want, Tyson Fury, because it's so much money. Well, guess what? We have a ranking system. We have an order to things, and we're telling you, Tyson Fury, you need to fight your mandatory. Your mandatory is not Tyson Fury. So Alexander Usyk was stuck in a bad place. One thing was for certain. If he would have chose to fight the mandatory, Tyson Fury had all the right in the world to sue him because he broke the contract. He already signed the contract. He was in too deep with all those millions. The only logical thing to do in that situation is sacrifice the IBF. And the IBF came to Usyk and said, hey, we know when you retire, and when we strip a boxer, that's an ugly thing to have on your record as a boxer. So if you ever go to Hall of Fame and it reads stripped, it's like having an F on your final exams. You don't want that word. So they told him, we'll let you do it the noble way. Pull out your sword. Do it yourself. It's more honorable. So he made a video, vacated the belt, and a vacate, that's not being stripped. Strip means that you were a champion and some way you didn't meet your obligation. They gave you warning after warning. They had to strip you because you weren't meeting the standards of a champion. You don't want that shit next to your name, bro. Ever. So that's some of these belts and shit function like that, right? But the IBF is just, it's the best we got. It's better than that fucking ranking system they got at the WBC. That's a complete shit show. I'm going to tell you right now, I love the WBC world title. It's a prestigious belt. A lot of good champions had it, didn't they? That's exactly what it is. They're always trying to put it around Ryan Garcia, right? Because he's like the Mexican Superboy. You see that dude, bro? No homo, man. He got the slick back going. He's a good-looking kid. All the women put your belt around him. But he's such a fuck up that he can't even make weight or now testing positive. You know, everybody's been trying to put their belt around that kid. That kid gets money. And let's all remember, I got to keep reminding you, boxing is a business disguised as a sport. People, do me a favor, please hit that like button, right? Let me catch up to you. Josh, what's up? Joseph, what's up? Loma is retired. Let him go already. Loma retired. Why didn't Shakur and Tank fight? Tank. Yeah, we know this. Get off Tank's nuts. He must not know me. You're new here? Okay. You're new here. You're very new here. Welcome. We all know this, buddy. We all know this, buddy. Listen, this is how I got Tank Davis. He must be new. Guys, don't get on him. I'll clear this up myself. I got this. Everybody back up. Hold on. I fucking love this picture, bro. Look at him. Look at Tank. Look at Tank. Watch out. Hold on, wait. This shit ain't working today. Oh, there he is. Ah, Carlito. Look at him. Look at Tank. Oh, they got him in bubble wrap. Yo, he got a king of the Happy Meals. Woo! Man, he must be new. Anyway, back to your regularly scheduled program. Yeah, I was telling you guys, right, that they was like, yo, right, Tank, like that homeboy over there. I don't want to mention his name because they get butthurt, right? Homeboy was saying, yo, Tank, he's a big draw. He sold out the Barkley. He's the cash cow. He should be the face of boxing. Then it's revealed after 2024 who made the most money out of all boxers. The top 6 boxers in 2024 that made the most money, right, are these 6 guys. Tyson Fury, Usyk, Saul Canelo Alvarez, AJ, Jake Paul, and Naoya the Monster Inoue. Where's Tank Davis? Where's he at? Where's this face of boxing? So their argument is always that. Now I'm on the line. You guys know me. I always tell the good, the bad, the ugly. If you ever hear me talk about a fighter's negatives, in the same breath, you're going to hear the positive things that I also have to say about that fighter. You will never, and I repeat, you will never find a video where I ever said that Tank sucked. I'm questioning his fighters, his situation, and who he is. I've always said that. I said Tank's last 10 fights, I didn't want to see any of them. And time again, we gave him breaks, or at least I did. And he got to the point where we started realizing some shit. And I said this, I got a whole video. You can go back, I got receipts. If the greatest fighter on your record is Jose Pedraza, there's a problem. There's a problem. If the fact that they actually emailed you that belt at 135, you fought Frank the Ghost Martin. He's not a champion. He wasn't a former world champion. And in fact, he never fought for a championship. So it doesn't solidify your championship in the ring. All you did was beat an opponent. On paper, it's official. You're a 2-division world champion. I can't argue that because that's real. That's facts over feelings, bro. You can't take that away. But the honorable way, you still haven't fought a world champion. You understand? So now, I always said this, you know, as far as Tank Davis and his situation, I said, wow, man, it's unfortunate. Your last 10 fights, it's always been, you know, situation after situation, circumstances and, all poor Tank, he can't get these fights. I don't think so. I don't think so. The excuse he just gave on one of those things that he didn't go to Saudi because the prince was like, Devin Haney's my man. Bro, every boxer is his man. And Tank took it like, oh, you on that side of the street. If it goes the distance, 12 rounds, you're going to give it to him. That's not true. Because he wanted Tyson Fury to win the second one so they could have a trilogy. More money, more money, more money. He even went up and put his hand on the thing. So the guy he was going for didn't win. So when Tank says that, it makes you question and think. I said, yo, check it out, right? Doesn't Tank knock out everybody? He never goes the distance. What are you talking about going the distance for? It reveals a lot of things. You've never fought like that. So you start to question what Tank's doing and shit, bro. And it just gets crazy. But anyway, back to some other fighters that we were actually, like watching. Lopez de Jesus there. Yo, that young kid, he's 18 or 19. It was funny. The announcers were announcing him as 18 years old. And on the night of the fight, it said 19. So I was like, all right, whatever. Sometimes they mess shit up, whatever. That's not nothing like dramatic or big about it, right? So I'm like, okay. So his performance was great. I went back today and I watched it again. I was quickly reminded of his speed. He's a left-handed, and he's 5'9". His first fight, and I since I don't have a lot of information about his opponent, like that the Mexican kid he fought, I don't know anything about him. I don't know how good he is. Does he brutally knock him out like that? That kid wakes up tomorrow, talk about, yo, I want to rethink my life's decisions. I think I want to be a plumber. Boxing's not for me. You never know. Now, if I see that Mexican come out in his next fight and just bulldozer some through, I'll be like, whoa, then I got a measuring stick. So as of right now, I was just looking at Lopez. Let's just call him Lopez, right? So I was just looking at him. And I'm saying to myself, because I'm also trying to separate him from the dad and stuff, right? So I'm looking at him, right? And I'm saying to myself, boy, did he look good. He looked great. So let's see what happens from here. Like I said, I don't really have much to go on, And then Xander Zion, man, listen. I mean, that's who I want to talk about, right? And I got to admit, I had a lot of questions. A lot of things got answered. And we got a look at what he's looking like as he's maturing in the sport of boxing. Both fighters were undefeated coming into this fight. Spooner, he was undefeated. Xander Zion was undefeated. Okay? Then in Spooner's corner, you had the legend, Roy Jones Jr. And I talked about that. Some people can see the legend and you can get this perception, well, this guy must be, like this, right? If Roy's going to take a look at you, okay? Doesn't always translate like that. Didn't mean that Spooner was no more worthy or less on that night against Xander Zion. So as I saw the fight take place, Spooner was a crafty fighter. He was also smart and he was patient. He really tested the boxing knowledge and skills of young Xander Zion. I want you to know that a lot of people in this fight, the first thing that they took away from it, and some of the trolls said that Xander Zion was pillow-fisted. I'm like, pillow-fisted? How so? Hey, did that fight go the distance or did he get stopped? That doesn't spell pillow-fisted. You must be talking about other fighters, my brother, because homeboy got stopped. And accumulation of punches, taking damage, rather than saying Spooner was a tough out. Let's just remember, he ain't never been knocked out. He ain't never been stopped. And he was undefeated. But rather than give young Xander Zion the credit, quickly when they don't see this historical knockout that they want to see in their head, now all of a sudden it must mean that this guy is no good in some area. Young Xander Zion went out there, stood right in front of him. How many fighters are doing that nowadays? When we're talking about fighters being more evasive, more defensively sound, less offense, but want to say that they're a big superstar, Shakur Stevenson, boxers. What? Who ran from who? No running. Xander Zion understands the value of a boxer. And in this market, your worth can go up by a performance. He was easily winning that fight. Did he take his foot off the gas and play it safe? No. The whole time, he was trying to give the fans what they paid their hard-earned money for. A knockout. Stop him. The entire crowd was egging him on. We were all into the fight. We got our money's worth. If you didn't get your money's worth in this fight, go watch Shakur's fight. So, what are you comparing them to? To who? To Tank? To the big guys? Okay, I want to remind you about something. This little theory that all of a sudden, just because one guy said it, oh yeah, Xander Zion don't got no power. He seems to be fucking stopping these guys, bro. Undefeated fighters. And another thing is this. Keep it in mind that you're talking about a 22-year-old young man. Not a 25, not a 27. He's 22 years old. And he's in the position that he's in boxing right now. He's the number one contender in the WBO. How many 22-year-old kids are doing that? There have been a lot of young men, and I'm not comparing them to other people. There have been young champions in their 20s, sure. Xander Zion is making his way. The question was, most of the concern of the people in the comments that I've read, they wanted, is he ready for the top guys? Is he ready? Does he have a beard? Can he take a punch? Bro, that dude cracked them. Xander Zion, almost froze. He went bang. And he went like this. Yo, he took that punch, came out of it, and was aware what he had to do and stay defensively sound and back up and get his wits about himself. He didn't do what some young fighters do. They get hit big. Big? What do? They want to get it back. They go into another exchange with the guy. They stand there and go into an exchange half dazed. You know what Xander Zion did? Block, evade, block, get my head together, work the jab, back in the fight. He did everything correct. And then he went and got it back in blood. Oh, you want to stun me in front of a world stage? Then I'm going to stop you. And the referee, that was a good stoppage. You know, guys are going to argue it. You could have let it keep going. I don't think the fight was going to change. The referee actually spared you several hard punches. And you never know if you would have got that face plant, if it would have got worse for you. It was probably better that the referee stopped it. You were obviously hurt to the body, like bad. There was one more round left. He spared you like another additional 4 minutes, 5 minutes of an ass whooping, whatever time it was when they stopped it, right? And he wasn't winning any part of this fight. That was a good stoppage. My man Spooner, congratulations, my man. You did a great performance. You lost to young Xander Zion. The dude is strong. That dude is strong, bro. And he got a beard. Xander was cracking him, bro. Um, and these are trained boxers. They're trained to take these punches like this. So, yeah, man. Let me read some of y'all messages. What's up, Mr. Miyagi? Mr. Miyagi, Xander kept switching off at times and letting the guy get on the inside. Apart from that, he seemed sharp and had good, shot selections. Yo, young fighters, huh? Huh? Mr. Miyagi, young fighters, right? That these are all things that they learn, coming up in the sport and with every fight, it's boxing experience, right? Okay. So it's really that young Xander Zion, what he's going to take away from these moments and these fights. He's going to go back, he's going to watch the tape, and he's going to see some of the things you're talking about, and you'll make better adjustments, and you'll add more to your arsenal. So young Xander Zion, man, I think the sky's the limit for the young man. And if you had to ask me, is he ready for any of the guys at 154? He's about as ready as he's going to be. I think that in a few more years, his body structure is going to get stronger. But even in a win or loss at this level in the game, you can have those guys on your resume you shared the ring with, the experience, and as you still age, he will get stronger. Will young Xander Zion ever be a world champion in my eyes? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think he'll be a multiple division world champion. I think that he has the good frame structure, the good height, and he's a young kid. I think he's going to grow and he's going to grow on to do big things. Where he ends up in his career, time will tell. Time will tell. But I think that he's doing everything right. He's a true student of boxing, and I can admire and respect that. He seems to be staying the course. And the one thing I can admit about Xander Zion is that every time I have watched his fight, I see a better version of him with each outing. It's not like I watch this guy, he's coming up and stuff, and then all of a sudden he wins the belt, Keyshawn Davis, and then the next guy he fights a tomato can, and the tomato can takes him 12 rounds. And you could see you've been partying a little bit too much. You've been letting everybody, hey champ, hey champ. You're forgetting what got you that belt. Sometimes these fighters got to learn horrible lessons, and sometimes you stay out of it, right? You get dropped in the fight, but you end up winning, and you're like, damn, I need to stop playing boxing. I need to be in the gym, right? Sometimes they lose their belts. But I have to admit that each time I've looked into Xander Zion, I'm watching him. He don't got a girlfriend. His girlfriend is his wife is the gym. He's married to the gym right now. He's constantly trying to learn. If you're not talking about boxing, teaching him about boxing, he ain't got nothing to talk to you about. He's got that kind of mentality. He has a goal in mind. And he has a goal to bring that belt to the people of Puerto Rico. He's a Puerto Rican boxer, and shit, that card right there with that kid plus Collazo, and there's a couple of us coming up. I'm just like, I'm like, we got a good time, a good moment. If our fighters can capitalize in this wave right here, Puerto Rico, we can get our own share of belts, and it would be a beautiful thing. And I was just like, man, I'm thinking about all the what ifs for all the Puerto Rican stars, and I got Subir coming up on March 1st. Um, and it's awesome. It's awesome. There are a lot of Dominican fighters too that are making their way up the line, and I like that shit. I like it. Um, Good Mexican fighters also too as well moving up, man. So a lot of Latin guys are really making some noise nowadays, and I like it. I like it. It adds spiciness to the sport. Yes, it does. So the fight card was to my, I liked almost every fight. And when I say almost, Gerald Anderson, big baby, uh, I didn't see a better version of him. He stood in the party too long after that knockout, or he's either depressed or deer in headlights. Something's not right there. He didn't look better. He better not fight Martin again. He's just gonna get knocked out. That was the only fight on the card that I was like, and then Abdullah Mason, right? If you guys haven't noticed, right? And probably I saw like 2 or 3 minutes on like 2 YouTube channels. I quickly turned them off because, I don't like them putting those when I come on, because kind of feels like they put what they were thinking I'm fighting them. Like, no, I don't want to report to you. I want to talk what I feel. So when in the Top Rank show, as Abdullah Mason was starting to get closer to his fight, you guys noticed they put him side by side and matched up with Tank Davis, where Tank Davis was at in his career, where Abdullah's at his age, so forth and so forth. When he got out, they talked. Tank's name got thrown around here and there. And when you see that, it's not that they're using Tank to, using Tank to pump up Abdullah or whatever. Boxing evolves all the time. They're just looking and preparing for the next great thing. If Tank ain't carrying that torch right now, the Top Rank is noticing that they're taking their young little star prospect that's going to turn into a contender just now, and they're going to try to capitalize on that by comparing them to Tank. That's all promotion, plans for the future. No fault to Abdullah. These guys are acting like Abdullah's doing this. Now they're taking shots at the kid. Mason didn't ask for any of this shit, but he knows that the promotion, right? They recognize, there's no doubt about it. Tank's a global superstar, right? So what are they doing? They putting their next product against them. Tank's talking about retirement, going to school. He's on his way out. You're going to need a new face eventually. And when Top Rank owns the rights right now to Mason and fighters like Keyshawn and Xander Zion and all the fighters they brought out, right? That they're trying to take the spotlight that Tank has. You see? So it's not like it's Abdullah's doing. Just want people to understand, like, that's what promotion companies do. They always attack each other and comparison. Now it got me and you talking about it. It's good for the sport. As Mason wins and he keeps rising in the division, and he does what I think most of us think, he's going to be a world champion one day. So I've said a lot. I talked what I wanted to talk about on my show. I got an open panel now. Anybody want to hop on, share what you're thinking, your thoughts? Let me know what you think about Abdullah's performance, Keyshawn's performance, anything you would like to talk about. In fact, we could talk about it. What's up, Armando? How you doing in the building? Yes, Frontline. Absolutely. He is officially a problem. And these guys don't want to give him like his credit and shit. And then when they saw that, they put right away when they anybody gets put up against Tank, these Tank fans lose their mind. They got offended. Oh, Abdullah's not on it. Tank or Rock. Nobody said Abdullah's fighting Tank. Calm down. They just made it a comparison, and all of a sudden, no, Tank will rock that kid, and blah blah blah. He's just a kid. You saw that dude drop him, and I'm like, chill out, you know. So, all right, we got my man here in the building, Frontline. How you doing? Let me get you up here. What's up, Frontline? How you doing, man?
¿Qué es la que hay?
Ahí. What's up?
No,
Talk
so
to me.
let's talk about Xander's performance. Do you see any flaws in it?
First of all, I think that any boxer can get better. There's always room for improvement. There's no perfect boxer. There never has been. There never will be in my mind. You can always learn to be a student in the game until the day you retire. That's my mindset. So if I think that there was any flaws in his fight game, um, I think there were some things that he did wrong, right? Of course, like a young fighter. Um, I think the moment sometimes plays a factor, anxiety and being a little over anxious, rushing the knockdown a little. He had him hurt to the body. He's gonna go look back at that and see that if he would have just calmed down and picked his shots a little bit better, better shot selection, he would have finished them. But the only way to learn these things is by experiencing them. So, as far as his performance, I didn't see anything wrong with his performance as far as what level he's on. I understand I'm judging him by his level. I'm not going to judge him by a higher level and then grade his performance and break his performance down because I'm actually grading him to a level he's not on.
No, I got you. But here's what I saw. I saw his footwork improved big time
Oh,
versus his last fight. One thing that I saw that he needs to work on moving forward is he drops that left a little
ooh,
too much and gets caught with that overhand right consistently.
yeah.
That being said, if he fights a top tier fighter, and I'm not saying, like, for an example, if he fights a Virgil Ortiz, if he fights a Charles Conwell, if he fights a Fondura, which Fondura's a bum anyways, but he's got a title, so we got to give him credit. If he fights a Tim Tszyu, guys that have a little bit more experience in the bright lights, I think can give him trouble. Now, that being said, I'm not knocking Cedeno because he's a hell of a coach. But do you think that Xander might be maxed out with Javier Cedeno and might need a second opinion or a second look from another coach to possibly learn, I don't know, different things?
Okay. Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. You asked me the question. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I'm not going to shy away from any topic. I think that the young man has outgrown him.
That's it. Want to know? Out next.
Okay. Yes. All right. I think he needs yeah, well championship coaching, yes. Um, but it's nothing personal. You took him as far as you can go. What we are talking about the things wrong, yes. While we were watching the live, I said it. His hands getting comfortable right here. And I think that that's where his flaws. Wait up, let me take this off. I think that that's where he's going to have to go back and watch. One of the fighters that I actually took a look at, and saw him be really defensively sound was Cormier Moulton. If you go watch his last fight, yo, the way he brought everything back was crazy. And you're in a firefight, so you are going to get hit. So when Xander Zion was engaging, had he got hit in some exchange, I would expect that. What you're describing is those are moments he could have blocked. You can't make those mistakes with better counterpunchers, sharpshooters, powers, guys that got power and speed at that level. I get it. Hopefully, he corrects that with a few more things we talked about. He might need some correcting in, and he gets the aid and the help. And boxing, it's funny sometimes. You could learn some things and shit'll fall together. But as far as these two gentlemen fighting, they were on the same level. The matchmakers got it right. Two undefeated fighters trying to move their way up in the division. I thought it was a good fight at this level. If you ask me, yes, I think he's ready for Sebastian Fondor. Yes, I think
Let me
he's
ask you
also
this:
ready.
a
Yes.
possible fight between Charles Conwell and Zayas. Who wins
Uh,
and how?
that's a tricky. That's a kind of fight I gotta see. I gotta see it right. Both fighters do things well, but uh, uh, because I want to speak the truth, right? And I want to give Conwell a little bit more of the edge. You know, um, these are things I got to see with young Xander Zion. He's only 22 years old. I expect him to get even that much better his next performance. Not so much better in the sense that every time I expect to see a Superman the next time. No, I'm not expecting to see that. But I'm also expecting him to get stronger, sharper, understand that boxing is a dance. Um, like for instance, see Jack Catterall lost last night to Barboza because he kept fighting the guys the same exact way. He fought Barboza the exact way he fought Regis Progress, and etc. and etc. He never changed. There's too much tape on you. You're approaching the fight the exact way every time. They're going to figure out a way in, and they're going to use that to break your defense. So, as far as young Xander Zion and the fight that you're talking about, that's a fight I got to see.
I think it'll be an exciting fight for sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. Who do you think will win?
Ah.
Yeah, you want to put me there? Come on.
I, I'm gonna be honest with you. Who do I think will win? I'm just like you. I gotta give the slight edge to Conwell, but if they were to fight, I'm obviously gonna be going for
Right,
Zayas, the 100
right,
percent hands down.
right.
But if
I
we're
mean, that's
talking
basically
about
my answer to it. Frontline, yeah, for sure. Check it out.
the
Look.
secret dance moves, talk about Javier Herrera, that is a Cuban a fighter, and he's telling me to look him out because he thinks that at 35 he could beat Mason. So
Really?
I don't know who he is. He's a Cuban fighter. I don't know who he is. I gotta do research on him.
Why is he bringing him up? Is there
Oh no,
somebody ever?
we was talking in the chat, and
Okay,
he
for a potential opponent, or is he an opponent they're seeking?
no, because I stated in the chat that Mason's officially a problem,
Yeah,
and we got to give credit when credit's due. You know what I'm saying?
right,
He showed adversity in not this fight that just passed, but the one before that where he got knocked down
right,
twice, and
right,
he overcame it and won the fight. And then this go round, he shined like he was supposed to.
right.
So we got to give Mason the credit he deserves. I mean, the dude
Mhm.
is an animal for a prospect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So secret dance move. He brought up Jadiel Herrera, that he's saying that he might he'll be giving Mason a problem, but I'd never heard of him. So I told him I got to do research on him
I've
and
never heard of him. I stopped
watch some
right on his
film on
name.
him.
I stopped right on his name. I was like, who the hell is this guy in my head?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I
I mean,
never,
dude, no matter how you look at it, and this goes for every nationality. I mean, there's a lot of young, hungry fighters coming up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Um, I'm
yeah,
I'm excited for March 1st. Obviously, we got
right,
three already known. I haven't seen anything else, but we got Matias, we got Ojo Santiago, and
right.
Nestor Bravo. Those three are confirmed.
They're
I'm sure there's gonna
confirmed.
be there. Those are confirmed.
Okay.
I know there's a couple more fights that are being worked in, but I
Hmm.
don't know those yet. But those three are definitely confirmed. So, and that's the Bravo. That's another motherfucker. Y'all, y'all
Yeah.
motherfuckers. Y'all
Yo,
gotta do
what
your
about
research on
that
him.
kid? What about De Jesus?
Juanita,
Yeah, Juanita Lopez De
he's a
Jesus.
dude. The first fight he
Huh?
showed out,
For his
but
first fight, he looked like that. Where'd you have this kid in? Where'd you have him? Where'd you pull him out of?
dude, you
Like
gotta
what the
understand his father's a two. I think if I remember correctly, Juanma is a
two
two-division
division, two
world
divisions.
champion. So he grew up boxing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he said in an interview he started boxing at the age of 6.
Yeah. He's got the Olympic rings on his arm. I think he was
Yep.
a yeah, the silver medalist or something.
Yeah. So
Pretty
I mean,
good.
boxing's in his blood. He's definitely gonna be a
Right.
problem.
Yeah, but just because boxing in your blood and your father's somebody, that doesn't always translate success. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Prime example.
Okay? Okay? So that don't never ever just, you gotta see what the kid looks like. And I gotta admit, I was a little prisoner in the moment. I had to go back. I'm calming myself down because
The way he threw that
actually
left,
I
huh?
don't got a measuring stick, but I know what skills look like. I
The way
know,
he
I
threw that
know.
left, and he
Listen,
changed directory
when
in
he
mid
changed
flight.
the punch direction, and he because the punch would have probably hit, but it probably wasn't gonna hit the way he wanted. Because the Mexican kid, when he saw it. So he started trying to, and this is all going like quick. Yo, he went boom, and it landed flush. That's one punch knockout power. That's the difference between breaking a guy down throughout the courses of round than hitting him with a combination. Like, see, what Tank knocked out Frank the Ghost Martin, he had him scared, brutalized, second guessing himself, and he pushed him into the ropes, basically a corner. And the sequence as followed. Then he hit him with an uppercut, stun him, and then hit him. That's not one punch knockout power. That was a combination. And you put him down. One punch knockout power is where you swing, I duck, I hit you, and you go out. That's one punch knockout power.
Yeah, Bang just said Juanita's sister just
Yeah,
got signed to Kodo Promotions yesterday. So his sister's also a fighter. I know that.
I didn't have no idea about his
Yeah, his
sister. Now
sister's.
this is getting better. This is
Yep.
getting better. Do we got another Amanda Serrano in the making? You
Uh,
know what I'm saying?
between
Huh?
her, depending on how she does, between her and Crystal Rosado, we might have the next Amanda coming up. I mean,
No,
Crystal got
well,
a lot of work though. A lot of work.
right, right. And now this morning I woke up and I was, I cracked a smile. I cracked a nice smile because it was a good feeling. It's a feeling I've been waiting for a little bit of time. When are the Puerto Ricans going to get back, to the glory days where they had us like, yeah, man, we got a guy in this one, there. We were always in it, you know. And I love the competition against Mexico and other countries, and we're not, we haven't been there in quite some time. And I have to be honest, when I started thinking about this morning, all the fighters and seeing that kid, thinking of Subier, now you tell me about his sister, and it's just, and Collazo, and we got a couple guys, and I'm like, man, we got a little wave coming, starting. Let's see where we can go. It's
Hey, so
exciting.
so I'm looking at the Matias card.
Yeah.
There's actually 4 confirmed fights now.
Okay,
You
who's the next?
so you got Subriel versus Valenzuela.
Yup.
You got Ojo Santiago versus Javier Fortuna.
Oh, Dominican guy. Yeah. Okay.
You got Nestor Bravo versus, I don't even want to butcher his name. It's
Okay.
who the hell is he? He's a African fighter.
Okay.
Zolisani Dongani. I don't know. 32 wins, 6 losses, 19 knockouts, and six of his 2 of his 6 losses were by knockout.
Hmm.
Um, he was knocked out. Nope. He lost to Moratala. He lost to Arnold Barbosa. He lost to Mercado, Ernesto Mercado.
Oh, so he fought some guys.
Yeah, he lost to Devin Haney. So he's got a good resume. So you know what I'm saying? Nestor Bravo is ranked 58 and he's
Right.
23-0 with 16 knockouts.
Okay.
So that's gonna be a good one. And they just added Price Taylor. He's a Moreno out of Brooklyn, 6-0
Right.
with 4 knockouts
Yep.
against Trevor Cotara.
Okay. All right.
Um,
Couple up and comers there.
Up and comers. Then they got Jandiel Lozano,
Right.
who's doing his pro debut.
Hmm.
He's a Puerto Rican fighter. So you got a couple good fights
They're
coming up.
gonna have to put up somebody on that card, bro, besides Subriel to help Subriel out. And you know what I'm saying? Because it's gonna be a big night for different reasons, and it's just not for Subriel. And to see where he lands in, the number one slot, which I was explaining, he's in the number one spot, already. But he's going up against Tank Davis on that night. March 1st, Tank Davis is fighting, and although a lot of people are complaining, I don't want to see that fight up against Lamar Roach. Tank Davis is still going to pull in his fair share of his supporters and people that are going to watch. So, and what they're putting on that card is not a lot. So, Subir with another big kind of good name, it could really boost that fight card up. And
Yeah.
we're edging closer towards the date. So, yeah.
Gano's in the chat. Gano, what's up, Baba? Um
What's up, bro? Do you see me, bro? Fucking sucker. I love you though. Keep the Latin blood going. But I'll
um
take a shot back. But I still love you. What's up?
um no, Bravo. I learned about Nestor Bravo, believe it or not, through Gano. Gano always talked about him and had him on his show a couple times, like interviewed him.
Yeah,
Um and I started following. There's a lot of boxers that, following Gano's channel, I was put on to a lot of body fighters
right,
that are up and coming, I should say.
right.
So, but yeah, Nestor Bravo, I know he's a problem. He hit hard as fuck. That's why it's hard for him to
Yeah,
get fights. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? A lot of people are
Just like
scared. A lot of
just like a
people,
lot of people started getting scared of Edwin de los Santos' power.
yeah.
He
Well,
started
after he dropped,
traveling around the like everybody that he was sparring against and shit, and around boxing circles. They knew Edwin de los Santos can bang.
well, the
You know,
problem, the problem with De Los Santos is, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
mm,
When he showed out versus Venezuela,
yeah.
and he
Oh,
knocked
he
he knocked
punished that
Rayo,
boy.
he smoked him.
Eh,
After that fight, they were questioning his pop, but if you look at his record, it shows he got pop. You know what I mean?
right.
Um,
So let me ask you a question right now.
yep.
If you think they ran it back, you think Jose Valenzuela is the same fighter today?
He's not the same fighter, but I still think the results will probably be the same.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
tell you
think
why.
I think he was a baby when he got beat down by Edwin de
Nah,
los Santos. He didn't even have that much hair on his chin.
I'm gonna tell you why though,
He
because
was a kid.
De Los Santos is still that same come forward power puncher. He's not afraid to get hit.
Yeah,
Rayo, after these past couple fights, he might. I mean, you saw how he fought Pitbull Cruz, and he beat Pitbull Cruz on the outside.
right,
He didn't come inside at all. If he fights
right,
like that against De Los Santos, then De Los Santos, yeah, he's gonna lose. But if he tries to go toe to toe with De Los Santos, he's gonna get cracked.
right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right,
that's what I'm saying. The
right,
results will be the same if they go toe to toe. If he plays the game right and he hits from the outside and he he stays on the outside, might be a different outcome then. But if he
Right.
goes toe to toe with De Los Santos, yeah, he's getting smoked.
You think so? You don't
Yeah,
think that Jose got that punching power now, like to
he
back him up
does.
off him?
But when he gets cracked, he's gonna get flashbacks.
You think so?
Yes. So speak of this now. What do you now? I know you touched on it, but I'm gonna bring it back because I got a couple questions.
Okay.
What do you think about Keyshawn's performance?
Keyshawn's performance?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The performance that we saw told the tale. It told the story. You know exactly what you were looking at. Just say it. There's levels to this. We saw that
Mr.
Keyshawn
Miyagi
was.
with the super chat.
What's up, baby? Thank you. Um, there's levels to this, and Keyshawn, I'm gonna get right to your message. Read it off. Let me just answer this while I got this in my thought, Mr. Miyagi. Keyshawn was definitely on a different level. What we saw from Belichick was we saw a bravo boxer, puncher that made his career fighting these tight brawlers like the Navarretes and so forth. He had a little bit of success and he was better in that way. But when it came to the sweet science, footwork, timing, position, etc., he was out in over his head. Bob Arum knew that when he fed him to him. He was in a win-win. It was an in-house fight. He was never going to lose a champion. He was just going to gain a new champion with a different name and a better market. He knew what to sacrifice. Bob Aaron's been in the game long enough that he knew exactly what was going to happen and take place. All Keyshawn had to do was not fuck up the night. The
All right.
victory was basically in his back pocket.
So that being
You,
said, that
yeah.
being said, do you think that Snack had a big thing to do with it? And here's why I say this: because he fought Lemos and he dropped Lemos, something that Hitchens couldn't do, something that no other boxer could have done. And even though they fought at 35, Lemos came in 6 pounds overweight at weigh-in, and who knows what he came in at fight night, and he still made it look easy. So the question is, do you think Snack made his
Well, if you're asking me, if your question, when you're trying to dress up your question
Now
and
I ain't
say,
trying to dress it
basically,
up because I know Snack
straight
is a
up, straight
tiger
up,
type
straight
shit.
up, is this dude on something? Keyshawn, is he on something? Or there's
That's
snack, or those snack things giving the a fighter an edge? Okay, like I told you before, you don't take vitamins because they don't do absolutely nothing for you. Whatever you're taking is to get an edge. Whether the edge you're getting is not testing on a banned substance list, is it Keyshawn's fault or is he playing the game? And if your question is, do I think Snap played a factor in this? Then what the hell was Belichick on? Just like Keyshawn got the ability to be on anything, just because Belichick doesn't wear the snack shirt doesn't mean he doesn't have the ability to buy those products. Because they're there for everyone in boxing to take. The guys that put on the shirt are being promoted by Snack and they're getting extra money, right? Okay. So, which means that, you know, it doesn't mean that
Just because Belichick doesn't wear the snack shirt,
Anando, turn
doesn't
that
mean
down.
he doesn't have the ability to buy those products. Because they're there for everyone in boxing to take. The
Naldo.
guys that put on the shirt are being promoted.
I'm just gonna mute his mic until he figures it out. He'll figure it out, and I'll turn back on your volume in a second, Anando. So what I'm saying is that all these boxers have the right to buy snack products, and the snack product is being promoted by other fighters, yes, but at the same time, everybody can buy it. So I'm asking you this: look, do I think all the top guys in boxing are on something or taking some kind of form of snack or snack themselves? Yeah, yeah. I think that at some point the human body can't just do this all by itself and compete at a level where you're gonna need that extra energy. The problem is that all these organizations and testing people, we all recognize one thing, that unless you're taking like eye to eye coordination P's, that you can kill a man like that. I hit you with shots I should have never hit you with. That's some dangerous shit. You take shit to like uh get give you more energy or something. That doesn't necessarily make you a better puncher, a better fighter. Does it make your brain give you a better selection of punches? You see, you might be able to throw those punches for a longer period of time, which is cheating, right? But I think that all these guys are using stuff, but it's like, it could be some good shit, but I can guarantee it's not like on that level where, like you're gonna put criminal charges. Because when Ryan Garcia and all these guys got caught, dirty, you do know that the boxing athletic committee has a little case in their rooms to decide if they're gonna bring you to criminal court and file criminal charges on you. You can get filed criminal charges from the boxing athletic committee if they deem what you took could have killed this guy. They just haven't caught that guy because, we don't all want to get crazy. Yo, we got Kano Love in the building. Let's bring him up. What's up, Kano? Kano dissing my Cardis. You know them motherfuckers is Cardis, right?
Hey man,
Right?
listen. I just want to, get up here and tell you, man, Arnaldo Nieves, you need to put him on your payroll. He was defending you with his life when I said that.
Is he? That's my man. That's my. See what I'm saying? But that's real round one sports talk support there. I didn't even know what was going on, and he's out here backing me in these streets. That's what's up. Yo, Kano, how you doing, brother? How you doing? How'd you like these fights, man? And how'd you see these fights yourself?
Man, I enjoyed the night, to be honest with you, man. I thought it was great, man. Frontline brought up a great point there, though, with the Xander Zayas, because, see, I've been following Xander Zayas before he even turned pro. I was really, really big on him, and I still believe he's going to be a champion. And I think what people are misunderstanding with me is that they think I hate the kid when I really don't.
Yeah.
Like when I make an analysis, like, for example, the example I'm going to give you is the one I was talking about yesterday. I believe Conwell beats Xander Zayas right now. I believe Xander needs a fight or two more. I think he needs a second set of eyes. Javier Centeno has been with him since he turned pro, and he's already peaked out with him. And in order for him to get to that next tier, he's going to have another set of eyes in order to get there. So right now, the question was, can he beat Conwell? And my answer was no. And all of a sudden, that turns into me hating him when I really, really, truly, truly don't. I love all my Boricua fighters, but I'm also not going to sit up here and be a liar about what I see in the ring. Can he fight? Yes, he can absolutely fight. Is he going to be a world champion? Absolutely, he's going to be a world champion. But you asked me that question today, and I got to give you the real answer.
Yeah, it's tough doing this boxing reporting shit because if you're not saying what they want to hear or taking sides or making your channel about an individual, then it's our fault. But if they just listen to us in its entirety, we give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see? Yeah. And when you're being honest, it's not that you could be critical to a fighter. It doesn't mean you're putting down that fighter. Frontline just asked me the question, and I said the exact same thing. I give the slighter edge to Conwell, but my man is getting better with each fight. And I can see that he adds new wrinkles to his arsenal. And then he also asked me the question, do I feel like his coach brought him as far as he can go? And I answered honestly. I was like, and his coach needs to be honest with himself and say, if I love you like I claim, I can't hold you back. I need you to get better. And I can always still be a part of it. Correct. But you're going to have to get the rings over. You can't be, as a coach on the outside, everything you learn, still adding. No, let the believe in the process, you know. And I believe sky's the limit for the young man, Xander Zion. I like what I saw last night, but you know, I have to admit I'm a little prisoner in the moment with the young man, De Jesus there with that first round knockout, 59 seconds.
He's the goods. He's the goods.
He looks sharp. He
Man,
looks sharp.
let me tell you something, man. That punch that he actually threw, he was working on that shit. He was working on that repeatedly, specifically for this fight, man. As a matter of fact, if you watch his warm-up, he was throwing that same punch. He said, I'm gonna catch him with this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch him with this.
One of his corner men was Rocky. He was on my boxing team growing up as a kid. We were in the Golden Gloves together. He's from Worcester. When I saw him in the corner with the kid, I was like, "Look at Rocky," and I was like, "Yeah, let's." So I'm gonna really try to like see if I can get a couple minutes with the kid. I would like to like ask him a couple questions, but he looked great, looked fast. He's a lefty. His feet were underneath him. He's got pretty good footwork. I gotta see more of him. You know, like I said, a little captivated in the moment. I gotta calm down, but I like what I see so far. What do you know?
I was trying to call Nestor Bravo to see if I was gonna surprise you with him, but he didn't answer the phone, man. But if he does, man, I was gonna send him the link and bring him on here, man. Like, you know, a lot of these people I know personally. I don't know if you do that, but a lot of these
No,
people,
I've seen some of your and like Frontline and everybody who vouch for you, and from what I've seen, like you know, you do your reporting, but it's tough. You explained to me the situation with you and Xander Zion. I'm not sure if you remember, but I knew of it, and it was just because of, you know, maybe a comment that you make that these fighters take things so personal, you know, in their fan base.
yeah.
So Bang asked a question to drop some names. He wants me to drop some names on a trainer who would like to see with Zayas.
Well, before you answer, Frontline, I don't think he needs to get rid of his trainer. I think he needs to add another set of eyes to that camp, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm not good with coaches. I don't know who, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Well, see, they live miles away and on the other side of the world, but Ronnie Shields will be a good set of eyes. You know, somebody like a Ronnie Shields, man, will bring the extra out of him, man. But Ronnie is in Houston and Xander's in Florida, in Miami, the Miami area. He's not really in Miami, but he's in the close enough, you know. We'll call it Miami, but and I said this on my live. I said I don't necessarily think he needs to get rid of his team. I just think he needs to add to the team.
Right.
If Centeno, believe it or not, has coached champions. You know, he has been in championship fights, man. Matter of fact, he's the one who was coaching and training Cambosos when he beat T.O. Okay, y'all.
Wasn't he also training Moncho and Polaco?
He was training Moncho. He trained Brian Polaco. He trained a lot of people, man. Adrian Broner's been to his gym. Tank Davis has been to his gym. There's a lot of names that have been in there. I just think that, you know, and it's not a knock on the coach or the trainer himself. It's not that. Look, you can only maximize what you can maximize out of a fighter. At some point, you need another set of eyes to look and say, "Hey, I'm seeing this, and you're not seeing it. You mind if I work on this with him, man? Because I'm seeing these little flaws and shit that Javier won't see because he's been with him so damn long."
What about Garcia?
Again, that's also on the other side of the world. That would be good as well. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For that to work, man, they'd have to be close by, like maybe a Nelson Rodriguez, man, the one that trained people and some other fighters. Maybe that might be something that could work out because Nelson is pretty good too, man. You know, he's had
Coach Nelson's good, and the guy, what's the one that trains Belanga right here in Tampa?
Oh, Mark Ferret. That would be a perfect match, man. I'm glad you mentioned that. That would be a perfect match right there. And for those who don't know Mark Ferret, man, that man trains Berlanga, the Daryl Val Saint. He trains
the Valle brothers.
Bro, he's got a crew out there, man.
Good stable.
Yeah.
Najee Lopez.
Najee Lopez, which I'm really huge and big on, man. I don't know why he's not getting enough credit, man. That's one guy that I've preached about, man, and he just ain't getting the love, man. He ain't getting the love, man.
Wow. There's some pretty good picks. Hey, yo, let me catch up to some of this. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Miyagi. Thank you for everyone who's still joining the live stream. Secret Dancer, Armando, Carlos, Bam Bam Boogie. I'm a little bit backed up on the messages, so I'll read them in a second. But I got a lot of thoughts on this right here. So,
Wait, Arnaldo Nieves, loyal. I am loyal to my crew. Yes, you are, Arnaldo. Hey, don't take it so serious, okay? Edwin is free to cook me and roast me if he wants to as well. I am not gonna be offended by it.
Hey, yo, is that it didn't have to get to me to roast you because my people were already on your back. You know what I'm saying? Yo, listen, that's that Puerto Rican love right there. But I gotta tell you, I those are some interesting names, you know, and you know, if Xander Zion was to walk in through your door as a coach, you got a good start with a good student. You know, the kid, you know, seems to be, his head is in the game. He knows what he wants to be in life. And you can work with that. The sky's the limit for the kid. I want to see more of him. Talks about him fighting Virgil Ortiz or other guys in the division. You know, let me just get your honest thoughts. Is he ready for the number one at Sebastian Fundora? Is he at least ready for him?
I've said this, and I've said this a million times. I believe he beat Sebastian Fundora, and I believe that's the way to be a champion.
Okay.
You know, now when I'm talking about the rest of the division and the other champions, that's where I believe he needed, you know, a fight or two more. But if you take the next one with Sebastian Fundora, that's going to elevate you. You're going to learn a lot in that fight.
Mm-hmm. Same thing I say about Keyshawn. Same thing I say about Keyshawn Davis' situation. He no sooner that he wins the fight, they're already talking him up with Tank. And I'm like, listen, man, you guys want to be a prisoner in the moment, go ahead. Tank got a lot of scrutiny. We've talked about his opponents and what he did. But I'm going to be honest with all of you. If you think Keyshawn Davis is ready for Tank Davis, you guys are going to hand Tank Davis that belt. Because I'm going to tell you right now, Keyshawn is not ready for Tank just yet. I'm not saying he won't ever be, but I would like Keyshawn to mature in the sport, have a little bit more championship experience. Why you want to push him in so early so that Tank just walks through him? Give Keyshawn a chance to become a champion, to know what it's like to be a champion, to build his confidence, and then I think he'll fight Tank better. But if you put him in like in the next fight, bro, like let him have those fights, those moments where you defend your belt, shit like that.
Let him get seasoned, which is what I'm saying about Xander. The same shit. Let him get some seasoning.
That's the example I'm using.
Let him get some seasoning. God dang.
Yeah, I said it's the same example I feel for Keyshawn from Xander. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like I think he'll be ready for these guys one day in the division, but a little bit, un poquito más. It's no rush. He's 22 years old, for God's sake. He hasn't even got his man strength. He's not even in 25, 27 where we could say, you know, this is all still a learning curve for the young man. So even though we're talking him in these situations, it goes to show what a 22-year-old kid has accomplished. And where he's putting himself in conversation among these kind of fighters just at the young age of 22. So I like it.
I don't think he's faced the Puerto Rican boxing yet, though.
No. I wouldn't say that. I didn't say anything like that. I just like where he put himself.
Yeah.
Who said that? What?
No,
he asked, and I said, no, I don't think so. I mean, we got to start, you know, giving credit to people like the pound-for-pound fighters like Oscar Collazo, bro. He's actually really doing this shit. He's actually, you know, defending titles and shit, unified and
unifying.
Let's talk about somebody like him, man. Like, why do we always want to just get the, flashy names and not talk about the ones that are actually putting in this work. Oscar Collazo deserves more credit. He should be talked about a lot more. He's a unified champ, man.
I feel your passion on that one, my brother, but unfortunately, Oscar Collazo is not in the glamour divisions. And unless you're like really into boxing or know Oscar Collazo and has been following him, a lot of fight fans are not going to know about him because he's in the 105, right? Being that the fact that Subriel Matias is in a division where it's considered the glamour division, that's why. See, Subriel, we all want to acknowledge him for the star that we know he can be. I don't think that the island of Puerto Rico themselves have even placed him as their star, if I'm being honest. Okay? Yeah, he does have a lot of work to do still. The losing the belt kind of set him back in losing in Puerto Rico, if I'm speaking freely. So as far as Puerto Rican fighters, I was just talking to Frontline about this. We don't really have that guy. Oscar Collazo is a unified world champion. That's great. But not in the divisions where we need it to be. These guys and this young kid come. Yeah, go ahead.
Let me call a timeout right now, but he's talking about as far as face of Puerto Rico and the Puerto Ricans, at least when I was growing up in Puerto Rico, man, we diehard boxing fans. They know who the hell Scott Collazo is. So when we're talking specifically the face of Puerto Rican boxing, they know who he is. They know.
Amanda Serrano.
Amanda Serrano. Crystal Rosado, man. I agree with Frontline. Crystal Rosado, I think, is the one that's going to take the mantle from Amanda. I believe so. I believe she's going to be the next one that we're going to be talking about as far as female Puerto Rican fighters, But that's just me. That's just my thoughts, But yes, he's not in the glamour division. Worldwide, that's not a pick that I would tell you, hey, Oscar Collazo.
Right.
Puerto Rican-wise, come on, man. You know how crazy we are about boxing. We know every division. We know every division that our Puerto Ricans are in. We know because we follow them all.
No, I'm pretty sure that the island knows him, but I mean, but you would think that Oscar Collazo deserves all the parades Edgar Berlanga gave himself in Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? He should be getting, like a praise that he's winning. Edgar celebrated on a loss. Like, well, give me your thoughts on Edgar. Like, listen, it's hard to be a fan. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of hard to be a fan. He's a Puerto Rican dude, and I like to see my people go forward and everything. And I always try to see the positive in everything. The fact that he went from a main event to an undercard to a hereditarily unknown fight, and where, like, is there something that I'm missing here? I want to see if you can put pieces together for me. Is this a case scenario where this is his last fight with Ed Hearns, and he's giving him his last fight, cashing in and going on to bigger things? Is it one of those? Is it a situation where they're saying, oh, we just want to put him into the fight because we have big plans for him in the future? Is that bullshit, or is this the sign of a kid that cashed in on a payday and is going right back to his old antics?
Man, this is deep because I know everything about Berlanga, right? So, first of all, he is a great talent. He started out as a boxer, not a knockout artist, okay? So I know his coach from when he was a little kid and everything. He was always a pure boxer. And when he turned pro and he went over there with Rozier in New York, that was the worst decision he could have made in his life because Rozier just had him knocking people out and just ignored his boxing skills that he had. When he went back to Mark Ferretti, he started working back on his boxing skills. I don't know if y'all noticed, but he has improved his boxing again. He's starting to slowly get that back. Okay. Now, the Canelo fight, I understand why they're celebrating it, because the pure fact of the matter is that Mark Ferret wanted one or two more fights before Berlanga got the shot for Canelo. Okay, he knew, everybody in the team knew he wasn't quite ready yet. The thing with that is, though, when you get a call like that from Canelo's team and say, hey, we want to offer you a fight, you're not turning down that kind of money. So even though you know you're not ready, you're like, shit, if I can survive this fight, yeah, I'm gonna celebrate because damn, I was trying to get a fight or two more before I got in there so I could be ready for him. So is he overdoing it a little bit? Yeah, he's overdoing it a little bit, man. He should, you know, but I get it, man. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's cashing out. I think he'll be fine, man. Because Mark Ferret, for those who know him, man, is a real strict person, and he's gonna have Berlanga ready for anything that's coming up in the future. As far as the Eddie Hearn thing, I'm not sure about that, man. I think he'll still be there. My dog just walked in the door. Anyway,
Yeah, this is his last fight on that contract deal. I don't know if they're gonna re-sign him but this is his last. And I was thinking of that as a possibility, and I wanted you to share your thoughts on it. Go ahead.
If it is his last fight, I can't blame him because honestly, man, you don't want to. At this point, when a fighter is known the way he is, right, and has gotten all the publicity he's gotten right now, he really don't need a promotional company to get a fight no more. You know what I'm saying? He can be a free agent. And he can fight on any platform he wants without having to ask permission from anybody. So he may be able to get better fights not being signed to anybody. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that as long as the fighter is already well known enough to where he can get away with doing that. I think he's at that point where he can do that. And Puerto Rican rum. Let me answer Puerto Rican rum because I know you don't be. I know your ass don't read the chat. So let me just go ahead and.
No. I've been reading. Go ahead. Cano and Edwin. What does Derek
Cuevas have a chance against Brian Norman? I absolutely believe he does, man. I actually believe he does, man. The thing with Derek Cuevas is he's only got one loss, right? And for those of y'all don't know, man, at the front line, no, but for those of y'all don't know, man, he didn't even train for that fight that he lost. That was more of a money grab for him. He regrets it to this day. You know, he's been focused ever since then. He can punch hard. You know, he's going to come to fight. And if Brian Norman, for some strange reason, which is possible, maybe overlooking this guy, this Puerto Rican, don't nobody know him, man. I'm just going to half-ass my way through this, or, you know, I'm not taking him as serious. Bro, he might
he's in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, he's going to be in for a rude awakening because Cuevas can fight. So does
front
he have
line? What do you think? What do you think about that front line?
About Cuevas? Cuevas, he's back in the gym hard. He did an interview on who was it? La Pichadera? I sent it to you, Gano. I forgot who it was. I watch so many Spanish channels. I think it was La Pichadera.
You had me looking, right? God damn, motherfucker. Shit.
You know, he talked about how he didn't take that loss that he got. He didn't take it serious.
Right.
But I mean, La Pichadera. So if you look at Cuevas' style of fighting, it's damn near identical to Brian Norman Jr. So in the interview, he said it. It's going to be an inside the pocket type of fight. And the way he's going to approach it is he's going to go to his court and fight in his court. Right. But as soon as he steps out of his court, he's going to have to step into his court. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that, he basically led me to believe that he's got more than one game plan for the fight, and he's not saying too much. So, I mean, it's going to be an exciting fight for sure.
Good opportunity, world title on the line. Whenever there's a world title on the line, there's opportunity. I'm going to go by what you guys are saying. I haven't had the ability, and I'm not going to even sit here in front ever. You guys know how I am, front line. If I'm not informed about something, I'll get back to you on the next one. I always tell you.
You know what he should do, front line? You know what he should do? He should fight Brian Norman's fight. And if he could beat him in his own fight, what does Brian Norman got to do after that? What game plan can he go to after that? Checkmate.
Nothing.
Checkmate.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys.
Well, that's why he said in the interview that he's gonna fight his fight until he can't, until Norman gives up, and then he's going to go to his game plan, and he's going to beat him that way, whatever his game plan is, whether he's going to fight him from the mid-range or outside or whatever. But that's definitely going to be interesting if he beats Brian Norman at his own game in the inside, and then Brian Norman tries to switch up mid-fight and doesn't have a plan for it. It's going to be interesting how it'll turn out.
And don't get it twisted. Brian Norman is still going to be the favorite. That's no doubt about that.
Okay. A perfect example, the way I'm watching the fight breakdown in my head, if I had to like pick a fight, right? It would be the American slick style against the Latin style. And the fight that comes to mind for me would be Gary Antoine Russell versus Alberto Puello. And my boy taught him
no, I'm gonna tell
lesson.
you why, Edwin. I'm gonna tell you why.
And
because Puello,
yeah,
his whole fight, he kept Gary Antoine Russell at a distance with his
okay, but
jab.
wait, before I don't mean to cut you off, Frontline. Before we get to the fight, though, there's a situation where that the American slick style was favored in the fight. That was just my point. You see where that look at where, you know what I mean? Like Brian Norman is favored for his style. My man is saying he's going to beat him at. What if we see another case of a Latin fighter teach him a boxing lesson? Because that's what I saw when Alberto beat Gary Antoine Russell. That was a boxing lesson.
Yeah.
So that's just my, we could break down the fight, yes, but that's what that was my angle on that.
See, I had a sour taste about Gary Antoine Russell after what he did to Ken Cruz. So I was tasting my mouth for that dude.
Yeah, man. And that hurt me because Ken Cruz is my brother.
Yep.
That hurt me to the core, man. That hurt me to the core, man. But Ken Cruz, man, he struggled to make that way too, though, Frontline. He struggled. He was like dead. He was a dead man walking, going in the ring, man. I mean, he'll never say it. But like I said, that's my brother. I'd be knowing it. I'd be like, damn, bro. But like you said, like I was telling y'all earlier, man, when you get a call, you just don't, you don't decline those type of calls. You know what I mean?
No, you don't. Sometimes you're not even in the position to say no. Rent's due, got mouths to feed. Sometimes you're pushed, you feel like, and then if you say no, your phone will stop reading because the word will go around that you didn't work with them or you didn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
And it's so much pressure that the unknowns that these fans don't know about will go around behind the scenes. And I'm glad that you guys bring up these topics and points for that. This is also an educational program where that we introduce you that the pressures that some of these young men and women have and some of these moments, and we clear up some of these fighting situations, such as the one we were just discussing. So yeah, it's great to bring these things up and really like break down these situations in boxing. Yes.
Gano, how do you think that fight's gonna play out with Bravo and the African guy?
Man, that's a tough fight, and me and you both know that, right? That's gonna be a tough fight because I mean, a lot of people don't know who that African guy is, but he fought a lot of names and shit, man. He represented himself really, really good. Nestor, to me, is gonna have to box him first, man. I think he needs to come out of the first couple rounds boxing, and stay, we'll start working the ladder and shit. And then once he gets in the groove and he breaks a good sweat and all that shit, because you don't want to get caught cold from somebody like that guy, So as long as he establishes his jab and starts boxing the first couple rounds, once he gets his range, once he gets his rhythm, then he can step on the gas. Because Nestor does like the fucking he likes to bang.
He likes to brawl.
He likes to bang.
Yeah. Hey, I want to get your opinion on a fight that just took place. What about that Jack Catterall and Andrew Barboza fight? What'd you think about Barboza's performance?
Well, I wasn't surprised because I picked him to win.
Okay, and did you hear the commentators talking about how Jack Catterall was having all the success throughout all the rounds? Was it me or what? Did you feel like they were watching a different fight and they had a different fighter in mind to promote?
Well, that's because that's exactly what you just said at the end. Because they got
I want to hear from somebody else just in case I'm the only one that saw this. I want to hear someone else say it. Mr. Miyagi with the donation. Thank you. Armando, léame eso ahí. I mean, Frontline.
I think Eddie just throwing Berlanga a low-level fight to just clear the contract isn't their talks of Berlanga going to MVP,
That's
which
a
is Jake
possibility.
Paul's.
It's a possibility. Man, you know what, man? I'm gonna have to make a call on that and check on that, man. Because
Does
I don't know that
Moncho Lebron get a shot at Navarrete
he, he
or
should.
Oshaki this year?
He
That's
should, and he's deserving of it. That's for sure.
but ain't Oshaki at 30?
Yeah, Shaki is at 30, so
And
it's more.
and Navarrete is at 32, right? Or he's at 35.
35. Moncho's deserving, man. I like Moncho Lebron a lot, man. I think I spoke about him for the last 6 or 7 years, man.
No, Navarrete's at 30. He's still the
Okay.
WBO, and then Foster is the WBC.
Okay, yeah. So he should get a shot at one of them. He should.
Right.
I mean, his last fight was an elimination fight, but you know how the powers that be do. You know how the politics go.
That's what I'm telling everybody about Subriel Matias, that a lot of people are like, no, because, a lot of people are happy. Like, Edwin, this is a title. They already announced it. And I go, yo, how many title eliminator and interim fights have we seen David the Monster Benavidez, and he was no closer to getting that title fight? So I said, this is where boxing does piss off a couple fans, but I'm asking you to have patience. And I'm letting you know that sometimes shit goes a different way. It doesn't necessarily mean that his next fight should be for the title. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But the IBF is a strong organization that I think that they cater to both sides of the street. And if I had to pick any belt, I think that they're the fairest. And if you do get your shot, I think that they'll work with you.
Yeah, these rankings, man. Y'all gotta understand these rankings, man. Money talks in these rankings, man. Hey, look, I've been in the inside of the business, okay, and money can get you moved up in the rankings quickly.
Of course, especially the WBC, where there's a 32 board member, not a real ranking system, and they elect their next fights. You have to have a good promotional company and a fucking good network, and then they elect you. They go, oh, Tal Fulano, yes, we want him to represent our belt, and they elect you. They truly just look by they just have it for like purposes up on the channel, like a real ranking system, because it's a freaking.
Y'all want a perfect example? A perfect example of that? When Yildirim was the mandatory for Canelo, Yildirim was on a 2-year layoff, coming off of a loss. How was he the mandatory? He lost his last fight, and he was inactive for 2 entire years. That was your mandatory. Make it make sense.
No. And then the broken rules that they do that are right in front of your face, that a lot of people don't know the rules about boxing. But here are the rules, right? If you are a world champion, or in this case, a unified world champion, you cannot compete for a vacant world title. That's against the rules. You got to let 2 people fight for the belt, one win it, then you fight. How did Saul Canelo Alvarez fight for David the Monster Benavidez' vacant WBC World Championship?
Well, you know
and
why.
he fought a guy that can't get the fuck out of here, bro. You're breaking boxing rules right there in front of you. No, it says no champion can compete for a vacant belt. You got to have no belt in order to compete for it.
Let me bring something up, because I heard you talking about the WBO being the mandatory when you move up and all that stuff, man. I wanted to, I felt you could have went a little deeper on it, man. But I'm gonna go ahead and go to weight with it. Yes, when you're at one division and you want to move up and you're the WBA champion, yes, you can request to be
WBO
at the WBO. Yes, unless there's an unless to that though, Ed. Unless the mandatory that's currently there activated as mandatory, then
absolutely
the guy moving up cannot trump him.
Well, no, he can't. No, he can't. You're right. Because the way I was going to say it is the exact same way you're saying it. Say that there was a number 1 ranked opponent in the WBO, but he had not filed the paperwork. Your mandatory can then exceed his.
Yes.
But if the guy already put in, that's the situation we saw with Tim Tszyu and Jermell Charlo, where that Tim Tszyu was actually putting pressure on Jermell Charlo But I believe his only mistake is that he took the step aside money and the first
Right.
time. And
Right.
then they treated him like a step aside dude. And
Mhm.
you know or respected him. You know what I mean? Like that type shit. So, but yeah, I see. Yes, yes. And then see, but that's the only belt that has that rule. And I
Right.
want fans to know you cannot do that with the WBC, the IBF, and the WBA. You know, and, these belts all spiraled off one belt, the WBA, which was the first. Okay, and they all have slightly different rule structures. Just like you say that you can move up with the WBO, but there's also a rule to that. If you go from 140 to 147 to be the 147 mandatory, the second you win that belt, in their rule structure says you cannot be a WBO champion in two separate weight divisions simultaneously. The minute you win one, you'll lose the other. But you can have a WBA simultaneously in two separate weight divisions. You can do that. You see, so these are coming, and these are great conversations, and the people need to know these kind of things. So when they see these kind of situations, they're more informed. What's
Hey,
up, guys?
just to be
Huh?
clear, he didn't. Just to be clear, I'm not saying he said anything wrong on that stream. Okay, he was correct in it. He just left that little part out, and I felt like y'all needed to know that little section of it. You know, just to add it to
Yeah.
it. Saying
Mm-hmm.
just so you know, I've been watching,
Jack
motherfucker.
Catterall won. You think? You think Jack Catterall won that fight? Man, you see. My thing about that fight, Mr. Miyagi. The thing about the fight was that I thought that Arnold Barboza's camp did their homework. They saw that Jack Catterall always fights every fight the same way. He's approaching it. He didn't really change much of his style. They devised a way to come in. They used the 1-2. It was very effective. And you got to look at it that Barboza was pushing him back. And when we look at viewing in boxing, what are the first rules by the judges? Effective punching. How does your punch have an effect on the fighter? Second ruling on scoring a fight, forward aggression. Who was the forward aggressor? Arnold Barboza was pushing the action to him. So I felt like in those he won the fight to in my eyes, but I respect it, baby. I respect it. You know what I mean? And you know,
You ain't take the glasses off because I'm on here. Did you? That way.
nah. Actually, you guys don't know my setup, but I wear the glasses because I got these two huge lights in my face, right? But every now and then, since me estoy poniendo ciego, I'm fucking blind as hell. I'm not getting any younger, right? That today my eyes are like really fucking with me, bro.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you had to ask, man. You know.
nah, bro, man. I would always. These are not glasses. This is jewelry.
Okay, I got you, bro.
Hey,
They're Cardis.
hey,
I don't have to brag about the price, but if you know anything about Cardis, you're not gonna buy anything for under a few $1,000s.
Let me
yeah,
stop. Let me stop before Arnaldo throws a bomb at me, man. Let me stop.
Yeah. Oh no, listen, you're doing good, Connell. Don't mess it up now. All right. Yo, what Secret Dance is saying here? Front line. This is one of those.
this is one of those occasions judges understood what they were seeing and not swayed by their hometown fans cheering Catterall hitting thin air. Barboza landed the cleaner, more effective
That
punches.
is a great statement. It was in Jack Catterall's hometown. You would have thought they would have gave him the decision. I think the right man won. My opinion. You know what I mean? Absolutely. You know
You know what would be a good fight?
what?
It'll probably be a pillow fight, but Haney and Barboza.
I don't know why you guys keep thinking Haney ain't got no power.
I think he does.
I think he's still a young man, 25 years old. I think he's growing into it. Watch when Haney starts knocking these dudes out, man. Right? Listen.
You know what it is?
Barboza is a good counter puncher. He likes to start the action. He can get caught with a different technique than just sitting back, showing you the shot. The way they beat Arnold Barboza was the way to beat him. I think a more athletic, slick style fighter. I'll put the American slick style against any style. I think the Devin Haney beats him.
Yeah.
I think Devin Haney beats him.
I agree in this in the film study I did on Devin, man. I don't think it's he doesn't it ain't that he don't have power, it's that he doesn't sit on his punches properly. That's the problem right there.
No, yo lo dicho. He's not a part of. Yo, Devin Haney reminds me of that great student in the dojo that exceeded everybody else, but skated on the last part of his training. That's exactly how I can describe him. Like he did everything so well, and he's decided I got it from here. And there's just slight small things, yo, he needs to put together. When you fight and you know what you're looking for, and with those, it's just different lenses. I try to tell people when I'm looking at Devin Haney, I'm saying to myself, you're doing the right shit. You just don't know the when and the where.
Right.
And it's yeah.
You know who else does that, man? That I wish would stop doing it? Hitchings. He got power and don't want to sit on his punches either.
The fear of being knocked out or buzzed when listen, we gotta remember, man. Look, when I fought, I'm gonna keep it funky with you guys. Everything hurt. A jab hurt.
Yeah.
Everything hurt. And it did. Yo, when we were in the Iron Boys Club, we were kids, we were busy fighting every week. Everybody's tying up broken fingers with tape. One dude's nursing a ridge injury. One dude's nursing a black eye. We were never 100%. I've never met actually a boxer that ever went into a fight. They always say I'm 100% while their fucking hand is snapped backwards. They're never going to admit it, so.
Right. Yeah.
I think
Puerto Rican Rum asked, what are LeBron's chances against either Navarrete or Osaki? Can Moncho pull it off? I think so. I think he beats both of them.
I think he beats them too. I think Navarrete will be the easier fight though, because Navarrete is gonna stand there.
Yep. Every time I pick Navarrete to lose, he fucking wins. Every time I think somebody's gonna beat that crazy, unprepared stuff, because you can't tell me that Navarrete fights with a game plan. You can blatantly see he lets nature take its course. He's one of those type fighters.
The thing with Navarrete that I noticed is he gets gassed out in the later rounds.
Oh, he looked good against.
If he fights Moncho, I think Moncho will attack that body to the point where he's gonna win the mount.
Yeah, but Navarrete hits hard. He got enough power to keep him honest. You better time them body shots, because they're not there all day open like a convenience store.
Moncho's a slick boxer.
Man, Moncho's a throwback fighter, bro. That's a throwback fighter. I've always said he's a throwback, bro. Moncho can play. That dude's smart in that ring, bro.
Navarrete is a big 130-pounder, though. He's huge for the division. Look at his size. Look how he's more skilled fighters. He's beating them because he's showing you at this point it wasn't about skill. He's just big.
Moncho is just as big as him.
You think so? I gotta see him next to him. That's a question. I've never seen him stand next to you. I gotta be honest. I've never seen that.
I've been next to both of them.
Okay, then let us know. You got the experience. Come on, man.
They're the same size. The only one, the one that looked tiny next to both of those was Pitufo Diaz.
Okay,
that small.
Yeah,
Moncho,
he's that much smaller than them.
Yeah.
When I met Subriel Matias in Puerto Rico for the first time, I saw him. I kind of found him a little weight drained for that Liam Paro fight. His cheekbones were right here, and he didn't. So I thought he would be bigger in person. I just thought so.
Now, Moncho KO by 6.
Moncho KO by 6?
I'm with it.
Sorry.
I got Moncho, and it's not a nasty KO. It's gonna be a body shot. He's gonna fold Navarrete. Navarrete by round 4 or 5, he's gonna be breathing heavy because Moncho got footwork. Moncho's gonna make him chase him and catch him while he's chasing him,
Front line.
and he's gonna fall. He's gonna fall right into Moncho's game plan, and then he's gonna stab him with a hard left to the body. Navarrete is gonna fold. He's gonna use his footwork and catch him with a liver shot and drop him for the round.
A
That's
front
it.
line.
Fight's over.
See, Navarrete is the type of fighter that reminds you in this sport, styles make fights. His style of a wild man, his kind of loose cannon, spontaneous fighter, sometimes gives skilled boxers a lot of trouble. It's kind of like
How much Moncho Lebron have you watched, bro?
who?
You. How much of Henry Moncho Lebron have you watched?
Not that much. Why?
He's a vicious body puncher.
Yeah, but I look. My the thing is this, man. Look, right? And I gotta tell you, man, I've been picking against Navarrete for a very long time, man. You don't understand, okay? And I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is it. Aquí se acabó this awkward man fighter. Huh?
Do me a favor then. Do me a favor then. Go ahead and pick Navarrete so you could be wrong.
No, no. I told you. Whoa. I tell you straight up. I'm not a phony. If I need to look into something, I'll get back to you. And I asked you guys, I said, give me a second. I'll go look this up more. I'll do my homework. But once I see what I need to see, I'll be honest in my assessment. But I got to go do a little bit of research on that. And I'm just giving you my side of Navarrete. And you guys are giving me your side. And I'm saying, man, every time I picked against this fucking dude, he wins. Look, remember?
Nah, but Edwin, when you get a chance though, all bullshit aside, is take a look at film from Moncho.
There's no question I'm going to look at that. This is my passion. I'm going to do that.
surprised
As soon
at
as
his footwork.
I click this button in front line, you know me. What am I going to do? I'm going to go watch him like straight away.
Dude,
so
his footwork and his angles are on another level.
Yeah. Well, you know, what was his name there? Oh my God, I just got a fucking brain fart. Who's the guy Navarrete just fought last? Valdez, Oscar Valdez, right? I asked you for the name and I answer it. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Anyway, I thought he was the better of the boxers. I thought he had the better footwork. I thought that when I saw all the Mexicans in attendance and they were all picking Oscar Valdez from Julio Cesar Chavez and all the legends sitting there, and the WBC came out with one of their phony baloney belts where they were decorating for the night, and they had the jacket. Remember? They had that jacket they made with Mexico on it. All the Mexican legends that know boxing, that are champions, who were they picking?
They was on Valdez.
And I'm just like, okay, what you're describing to me, hey, Edwin, go check this guy out, because bro, I saw that. I saw it.
Wait, you saw Moncho fight before? Yeah, his last fight was against Pitufo.
Okay, yeah, then I did fuse.
Christopher Pitufo
Right.
Diaz.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one then. All right. But I want to go do some more. I got to go do some more. I just, if this is the praises you guys are giving it, I'm like, okay. I'm sitting here quiet. I'm only talking about what I know.
He got a good little resume on him, man. Shoot. I'll tell you what, man. See, we beat William Foster III. That was a good win. He beat the other Lebron. He beat Christopher Pitufo Diaz. He beat Dulé. Luis Poroso was another good win. He's got a good little decent thing going for him, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. Don't compare Valdez to Moncho Lebron. Don't do that, man. That's disrespectful, man.
Really? No, I wouldn't compare him. I didn't make a comparison, but yeah, I'm just pointing out his last fight, the boxer versus the puncher brawler. what the Mexicans themselves felt like. And these are legends that are, I heard them all talk just before the fight, and they made the little jacket for the winner of the event, and everybody was convinced. They were convinced that you know what they said? This is where the sweet science is going to show that there's levels to boxing, and Valdez is going to come out and he's a better boxer than. And they gave all these explanations, but according to you guys, that's not what's going on here. You guys are telling me I'm gonna go take a closer look at the guy. I'm probably gonna look at him and remember a whole bunch of his fights. It's just gonna flood my mind, and I'm gonna know exactly. But it's give me something to do and look forward to, and absolutely. Oh yeah, frontline. Léete eso ahí.
Yo, who's that? The super chat? Where we at? Navarrete versus Eduardo Nunes. Nunes fights just like Arthur Beterbiev and would be pure violence. I don't know who Eduardo Nunes is, so I can't.
What do you guys think about that Arthur Benavidez fight against Demetrius Bivol anyway? Do you think it's going to stay the same, or is it going to be new?
I'm going with Arthur, man. Until somebody beats him, I'm not picking against him.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to go against him. I'm going to have to go against him. I'm going to take boxing skills. Okay. My assessment is that Arthur doesn't have to make any adjustments. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think the adjustments have to be made on the Demetrius Bivol side. I believe that Demetrius Bivol saw what he needed to do. It's whether or not he can capitalize. And this time, whether he gets caught big in an exchange. Those are things I can't figure out. But I think that Demetrius Bivol, if anybody's, if I've always said it, can beat Arthur, he is the man. It doesn't mean that he'll beat him every single time, but anybody in the division, it's him.
This is the problem, man. That for Bivol to win, he already is thinking in his head he's got to be busier. If he's busier, what's that going to happen then? He's going to be open.
Yeah.
For Beterbiev to hit him more times, bro. I don't see Bivol lasting the whole 12.
I think a good way to Arthur are angles, subtle movement to the right and left. He's a real like step fighter. Like he's real like stiff. I think if you can trick him a little with cutting the angles, I think you can create openings. And the peel game, what David the Monster Benavidez was doing to David Morale, where he was peeling his hand or punching this elbow, creating an opening. I think if you can implement that, because he did have success against Arthur. He had his moments. He hit him with some big shots. So, I felt like, maybe he'll make the right adjustments. Who knows? But that's a dangerous fight. It's truly a 50-50 fight, but I don't count Demetrius Bivol out of it. And then any man in that division that can beat him, it's him at 175. And one more thing, Father Time is undefeated.
Oh, yeah.
Arthur ain't getting no younger, bro. He ain't getting no younger. And he came off the knee, the knees holding up, allegedly, whatever. But Father Time is undefeated. Father Time.
Yo, what about the fight yesterday with Brian Norman Sr. and Greg Hackett?
What happened?
Did y'all catch that?
That's the sloppiest fight I've ever seen, bro.
No, it wasn't one of those. Who won?
Brian
Norman.
He beat Greg Hackett. Ah! He was our YouTube content creator guy that was fighting Brian Norman. Oh, man.
No, Greg Hackett is supposed. Isn't he a coach or something
No,
like that?
but
Out of Philly?
he got a YouTube shit.
He's a former fighter, but he only won one fight and lost like 30 or some shit like that. I don't know. Can't remember.
Yeah, but he got on this shit because of YouTube fighting.
Let me pull up Greg Hackett and see if I'm thinking of the same person here, right? Greg Hackett box rec. Yeah, here it is. Greg Hackett box rec. 3-23.
Jesus Christ.
3-23.
Out of those 23, how many knockouts?
He was knocked out twice.
How many times he was knocked
out twice.
Okay.
Damn. Damn, there's a bunch of L's on that motherfucker. Damn. Do you want to see this?
What?
Do you want to see it?
Yeah, put it up.
All right. Hey, here you go, man. Boom.
Yeah.
Yo, that red looking bright.
Hey, yo, no. Scroll down the list. Scroll. I want to see it. Yo, where did the win come in? Right here. So it was like straight losses beginning career. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yo.
No. Here go the beginning right here. Here's the beginning right here. Lost.
Oh.
Then he won. Lost, won. And then he went on a big losing streak and won it way over here. God damn, man. Greg.
Hang it up.
Craig, get up, Craig. He ain't fighting fair. Get up, Craig.
Hey, man.
Yo, but that's what I talk about, right? In this sport, right? You see a more skilled fighter and you think, what's wrong with him? And what we don't take in consideration is the mental part of this sport. Some men can't deal with the loss. And I always say you have to have a little bit of crazy inside to be a fighter because there are some special men. You got to remind them they lost. It doesn't affect them. They're in the gym still training. Sign me up, coach. Bring me in another fight. And some guys take a loss so personal. I've seen even great fighters like George Foreman over a loss in Puerto Rico under a heat stroke. He blamed there. He couldn't take the loss. For 10 years, he walked away from the sport. Then came back. He couldn't handle the loss. Here's Greg losing 8 consecutive fights, still in the gym. Hey, coach, put me in there. He might have not had all the skill, but that speaks to me of a man that had he's persistent. He had a dream. He just might have not had all the skills to pull it off, but he kept fighting. And that,
Hey, what you guys think about the Schofield and Shakur fight?
Man, listen, bro. Schofield gonna get hurt in that fight. Schofield's getting hurt in that fight, bro. I know y'all be like, oh man, Shakur ain't knocking nobody out in a while, man. Schofield might be the one, bro. I think he's gonna scope Schofield.
Nah, he's definitely gonna be the one. He's definitely going. Yo, you saw how slick Shakur is, right? And with the guidance and tutelage of Bomac and Terrence Crawford speaking to him in his ear and having those kind of figures around in your life and stuff. And he goes and brings in Sean Porter and he spars with him. Why? He is the spitting image of that Schofield kid. The Schofield kid spitting image of him. They move. So I'm telling you, if you guys never noticed this, go play them side by side. You'll see what I'm talking about right away. And I saw that. When I saw that, I was like, Shakur really wants to win this. He wants to win it big.
Bro, did you see what Porter said?
What?
He said, bro, I celebrated when I finally hit him. That was a celebration for me because I couldn't touch the motherfucker. I couldn't touch it before. Sean Porter.
Yeah. He said a lot more than that, but I was okay.
Shakur's a very slick fighter.
You know what? Shakur understands very, very well, and he doesn't get. It gets mixed in. It gets mixed in with all his other little skills and problems, and I think it goes under the radar. Is distant management. His distant management to a target and how close you are to him, and it's one thing to be able to throw a ball, but you got to be accurate with that shot. His understanding the when and the where of how close a fighter gets, where that he doesn't stifle a lot of punches, where that Keyshawn Davis had Dennis Baranchik hurt, and he was throwing punches and some were missing, and like Xander Zion had homeboy hurt. Had he just managed his distance and gave himself the correct space, he would have landed that big shot. That's one of the special things that Shakur Stevenson I think he was born with that ability. The reason why you can't hit him is because he has a uncanny ability to already know the distance between you, and he's really good at it. And but now he has to know how to hit somebody and put some of these fucking fights together. Because
Definitely.
how many more? Look, I know what I saw. And actually, what I actually saw in Shakur's last fight was a good boxing performance. That's what I actually saw. But as a fight fans that want knockouts and pay their hard-earned money, and you're going to convince them to buy these fights, you got to sell. If he gives another performance, do you think that his career takes a major hit? And what can a knockout do for Shakur at this stage in his career?
That's a good question. Carlos just asked. He said, "What if Schofield lands?
Nothing.
How will
Nothing.
Shakur just?
Nothing.
You think Shakur got a chin?
I know he got a chin. Nothing gonna happen. He gonna start getting schooled after that. If he do land one, he gonna start getting schooled. Kind of like the way Mayweather did with old boy. What's his name? What's his name? Man, Shane Mosley. He landed it. Okay, cool. You got that in. Now let me school your ass. That's what's gonna happen. Same type of shit. He gonna get taken to school the rest of the fight.
You think so?
Oh yeah, man.
You don't see him having any success in this fight with that style?
No.
Mm.
Schofield,
Okay.
I don't give him any chance, man. I'm sorry. I just don't, man.
You think it's too soon in his career?
Think about
I know it is.
This is the thing about it, though, right? This is the thing about it. He asked for the fight, right? So whether we say it's too soon for him or not, he kept up that tree. He asking for that belt to ass. So okay, all right, son, that what you want? Then come on, let's run it then. Yeah. Let's run it then. Since Tank won't send me a contract, since none of these will send me a contract, then I might as well fight somebody. Which is the thing that I keep telling people, man. What do you want the man to? Who do you want him to fight if he's not getting offers from anybody else, man? These fighters got to keep fighting. They can't just sit on the sideline and be like, all right, let me twirl my thumbs. Let me wish upon a star that Tank sends me a contract, and I'm not gonna fight until then. No, they're gonna want to fight.
Yeah.
Hey, and to answer Puerto Rican Rum, I think so. He says, does Yanquiel Rivera get a title shot this year? I think so.
Yeah, and he'll win it. And we'll win it. Yanquiel is a special talent too, man. That's a thing I don't speak enough of. Yeah. Yep. I'm actually guilty of it myself, front line, but
Hey, XL wants to know to ask you if you feel De Los Santos got schooled. I'm assuming he's talking about versus Shakur.
I say he did because De Los Santos, see, this is the thing that people don't bring up about that fight, right? They're saying that Shakur was boring and he didn't do a whole lot. Well, what the hell did De Los Santos do? Why he didn't push the action? Why did he didn't press the action? Why he didn't cut the ring off? Why didn't he apply pressure? Why? You got to blame him as much as you blame Shakur. Because if De Los Santos would have been pressing the issue, maybe we would have got a little more action.
I gotta push back on that one for a second, right? What I think the problem was in that fight was, first of all, it was probably the one fight that you don't want your name attached to. It goes down in the record books as a fight that went 12 rounds with 123 punches thrown combined by both fighters. Meaning Ponce threw 98 punches in the fight with Subriel in the first round. Combined punches between both fighters was 123 punches thrown in that Shakur and Edward De Los Santos fight. Now, if you're going to say that Shakur Stevenson's power kept him honest from coming through the front door, that's where I'm going to say I think it could have been that case, or it could have been a case where Edwin De Los Santos and his coach devised a game plan for Shakur Stevenson coming through the front door, and they relied on Edwin De Los Santos' counter ability. So in order for their plan to work, Shakur would have to engage. Without Shakur engaging, he kept waiting for the moment all night. And the coach is telling him, stay the course. He's eventually going to engage. And Shakur didn't engage, and he didn't engage. So it was up to the coach to say, okay, son, the plan's not working. You're gonna have to try something else. You're gonna have to push the action. And if that never occurred, because the fight it started the same way and ended the same way, that means that whatever they were both game plan, they stuck to it.
I blame them both. That was my whole point. I blame them both.
Right?
If you're gonna blame Shakur, you also gotta blame the other team.
Absolutely.
Both of them were
absolutely
thinking like that. Both of them.
123 punches in 12 rounds. By both.
Hey, XL, in case you didn't know, Gano's favorite boxer at one point, I don't know if it still is Shakur. So, because he said, okay, so that tells me everything I need to know.
Well, yeah.
About Gano's point of view towards Shakur.
Being honest, they're both at fault. I don't absolve nobody because I follow him. He was at fault too. He look, people are paying their hard-earned money to watch you fight, bro. You got to give them a little more action than that. You have to. My whole argument was that that even though we're blaming Shakur, nobody was blaming De Los Santos, and we need to put blame on him too.
Right. I agree. I agree. When you're going down in a stat, there's two men in the ring. What's the other guy doing? You know, to push the action or whatever. But I also believe that Edwin De Los Santos' game plan was all geared and focused on Shakur coming in and fighting him. Every time Shakur did throw a punch, De Los Santos punched with him. He was punching with him. Without him punching, he wouldn't punch, which led me to believe that his whole area of success was built on Shakur engaging. And they waited for each other like two swordsmen all night. And then you know when that your coach is always telling you, have mental fortitude in the fight. Stay the course of what we talked about in our training. Don't veer off of it. Trust in the process, and the kid's not getting out of it because that's what he's trained to do. You see? So sometimes that works against you.
Yeah. I gotta agree with XL on his comment. He said, no, Chico, Shakur is the star. The one that's supposed to give us more of the show, which is why his own fans booed him and left. Which I agree with that statement 100%.
I don't have any issues with that. What I'm saying is that all the blame don't belong on him, man. That's like when Boots fought Karen the first time, and everybody, man, he can't cut the ring off. Man, he ain't cut the ring off. Man, he ain't cut the ring off. Well, neither did De Los Santos. If somebody's moving, then it's your job as the opponent to be able to cut the ring off and make something happen. Whether you're the star or not. If you go into a championship fight, you got to take the belt from the champion, right? You can't sit there and assume. You can't sit there and assume, well, if I just stay the course, you know, you're not going to win a title if you stay the course if it ain't working. You got to change something up at some point in that fight and take some chances. Otherwise, you're not going to have a shot at the title. Is Shakur should Shakur hold the bigger blame? Absolutely. I'm not going to argue about that. But you got to put some of that on him, man. You can't just absolve completely in this, man. Because if it was me in there fighting, I'm trying to look for a way to get in there, bro. I'm stepping on his foot. I'm doing something. Are you understanding what I'm doing something? If I got to grab one arm or something, man, play a little rough. Even if the ref warns me. Even if the ref, man, I'm going to hit him. I'm going to give him a Charlie horse. Something. The ref can warn me all he wants. I'm gonna change the trajectory of this fight somehow, some way. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do what you gotta do, man. I mean, shit, it is what it is, man. Front line.
Mr. Miyagi with the 5 piece. He says it's down to the fighter to stop another fighter from running. If the guy is a real mover, needs to cut the ring and try to corner. Well. Counter. Yeah, but you would also have to say that the guy can cut the ring properly. You know, as a skilled fighter, I can pick out some fighters that are skilled that can't cut the ring for shit. Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is a decent fighter. He just can't cut off the ring. And you would think he would know how to do that, you know? But yeah, I see where you're coming from. Absolutely. But
Super said in an interview that he wants his next fight to be against Tio. and it's not because he disrespected him, because he disrespected his flag.
Oh yeah.
He said it's one thing coming at me as a fighter, but coming after my flag, not
Hey,
Yeah.
happening.
don't get me
I
started on that front line. Don't get me started on that front line. Don't get me started on that.
Le va a quitar la bendición. Le va a quitar la bendición a Carlos Love, girlfriend. Like, stop it. You know what I mean? He went to church this morning,
Nah.
Sunday. Ahora viene para atrás to answer that. Le va a quitar la bendición. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm gonna be transparent. I absolutely have a whole lot of hate for Teofimo Lopez. I do. I'm not even gonna hide it. I do. I hate the dude. And if I
You
see
know,
him,
Gano said that he sees him in
I'm
person.
snapping.
oh my
Somebody gonna
God.
have to get him off him.
Look, man, I understand that Teofimo Lopez has said a lot of things. I've heard a lot of fighters throughout history say a lot of things, and I got to remind myself sometimes these guys for a profession get their brains punched in. Sometimes these guys don't know how to say the right thing, but I'll take it. I'll go as far as saying, well, then, if what he's saying is not true, shut him up.
He can't.
I know
though, he
because
don't
he's
wanna cut
running,
the
he's
fight.
running, he's running. But somebody's gonna catch up to that ass. You know what I'm saying? And
I put it like this. I'll put it like this. The undercard, the co-main, Ojo Santiago,
yep,
fucks Tio up, hands down.
never said he wouldn't, but he just like you said, where is Tio going?
Nestor Bravo at
Do you even
140
believe anything that
fucks
comes
up.
out of that man's mouth anymore, Tio?
No,
Do you
no.
even believe any? I mean, I don't know if he's right going left, right. I don't know what he's doing. He's always cloud chasing, attaching his names to Terrence Crawford, to this guy. Shit, I'm surprised he didn't call out Naoya Inoue. You know what I mean? He's always.
Oh damn! I thought we were gonna go a whole show without calling.
It's not gonna happen.
Nagoya.
That will never happen. All right, but keep it pushing. Keep it pushing. No, but I used him as a reference because he was just cloud chasing for everybody. He really was. He called out Brian Norman Jr. He called out Brian Norman Jr. He called out Duran Boots Ennis. He called out Terrence Crawford. He called out Tank Davis. He called, come on, Tio, what the fuck are you doing? He's full of shit, bro. I don't know what to think of him anymore. But he is an exciting fighter. He has something I want. That WBO title. He's in Subria's weight division. As long as he's in my boy's weight division, he has something I want.
He turned down to 1.8 million. What's there to talk about?
I know.
2.6.
I know the story. I got receipts. I broke the whole shit down on my live. His logic doesn't make sense. I don't want to be with top rank, so I don't want to fight for a belt because it'll lock me in a 5-year deal. Well, Subir don't got a belt, and it's 4 times more than what you ever made. And if you were a prize fighter, why did you take the fight? I'm as confused as you are. I talked about this situation. It's just not even worth it anymore.
Let me just say this for the secret dance move, man. Tio may have all the talent in the world. He may be everything that people say he is, but when a man comes out and is blatantly racist and is blatantly disrespecting the Puerto Rican flag, blatantly disrespecting the black community, disrespecting anybody he can, that's a line you don't cross, man. I just can't respect somebody like that. That's just where I'm at on it, man. I don't care how talented or good of a fighter he is. That's just something I don't support. I cannot. I can't support that in no shape, way, or fashion. Nor will I.
I think he has a distasteful way of getting his point or joking or his attention. I think it's real distasteful. I agree with you on that. I don't think that Tio's the sharpest knife in the drawer. I think that he says things, it comes out, but I'm not going to excuse him because if you could be mad enough to say these things, then you should be mad enough to take COVID that comes with it. Cano's completely 100% right for feeling the way he does. Had he not said what he said out of his mouth, then he wouldn't be getting this kind of criticism in the first place. So you need to keep your mouth shut.
Secret dance move.
Secret
dance move. Yeah, B-Hop did that against Felix Tito Trinidad. And guess what?
He
hired private
he needed security to get off the island.
Yep.
Okay, and I was in agreement. That's a great example. I was in agreement with saying, look, man, look at these antics that boxers do. But Biha is not what's wrong with the world. There's real racism in this world. Biha tried to do a real powerful, and it didn't work out too for him. And just like this little sucker right here is doing it, I get it, but that's not real racism. I've experienced real racism, and there's just other matters. And for me, is if I saw Tio, I wouldn't take it upon myself to take Puerto Rico on my shoulders. I have a
I
family. I'm a father now. I'll let him hear it. He'll. That's about as much he'll get out of me. And I still got to remember, if I try to punch Teofimo Lopez in the face, he's still Teofimo Lopez. So anybody that wants to go do that, good luck. And how far are you really willing to go over his words? I just,
would
yeah.
would no man. That's
Nah,
what they are doing.
Caro, nobody second guess that. We all know you're down. Okay, so Caro's gonna do it. Caro say he gonna do it. He gonna do it. So,
You
but
ain't you ain't gotta even wish me luck. Huh.
no. Hey, listen, you're gonna go for it. But I just look, man. Eventually, I hope that he gets what's coming to him, and the world, but look, for everything that he's getting on social media, all the deals he lost, all the scrutiny he's gotten, I believe he's way in over his head. I think all the backlash he's got, sometimes you got to weigh out the punishment, and he's feeling what he got. He lost like 60% of his Latin support, because all the Puerto Rican people that walked away that were supporting his ass. So I know he feels it. I think that, sometimes you got to look at also what he's doing, but it doesn't seem to get better for the fucker, right? Because next thing you know, he's on TV eating a banana, like with this basket, he's tied into this, like the mother. He just doesn't. Is it just because he's a dick? Now, if he's just this, then he's just a piece of shit, bro. He's just a piece of shit. And I can't
That's a
wait
good fight. That's a good
For him
fight.
to run into Cano Logo, because he's gonna get his. You know what I mean?
He better not fight. He better not fight in Florida.
No, he can't even go outside in New York. He can't. I don't care what Tio's telling you guys. I'm gonna tell you right now, he can't be seen in the streets of New York right now, and that's the truth. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I'm gonna tell you, he can't. He can't go to nah.
Yo, Puerto Rican rum. That'll be a good ass fight. Teal versus Nestor. I got Nestor.
You know I'm riding with Nestor. Shit, hell yeah. Nah, B Hops did that with Kawasaki too. With that, I'm never gonna lose to a white boy. So
To a white boy, yeah.
I don't.
These are fighters, though. They say the darn. We acting like these fighters are gonna say things that are gonna change the
Yeah,
world
but you know
and
what the
bring us.
difference? The difference is it's like Subriel said in the interview. It's one thing going at him as the fighter, but
Right.
it's another thing going at a whole island and disrespecting the flag, which is what B Hop did against Trinidad when he grabbed
I'm
the
surprised
flag
B how they get killed.
and he threw it on the ground.
Me
That's
too.
why he hired private security to get escorted out the island.
Papi, there's some dudes in Puerto Rico. They got some shit for motherfuckers' ass. I'm actually surprised B Hot and his squad made it to the airport like
But he
that. They didn't
never
get gunned
stepped into
down.
Puerto Rico again, though.
No, he can't. No, no. Le dieron break, un pase. Sal de la isla y no vuelve para atrás.
Well, it seems like
Ese hombre
Tito's getting a
vuelve para
pass
atrás para
too.
la isla, lo van a picar.
Yeah, but it seems like Tito's getting a pass too. I mean, Tito, because he's in Puerto Rico signing autographs and a whole bunch. But then again, you can't compare our generation versus this new generation.
Yeah, don't get me started on that because I did a
No,
whole.
no, 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 no. There's more to meet the eyes here. Okay. Puerto Rico's been hit with these tropical storms, or whatever. Okay. Um, what happened is tourism has been down a lot, and they want so por lo caso you can't jack no tourists, because if the tourists describe you, brother, they're gonna find you, right? So the tourists are real walking around like real free because they got the backing of, in the island. The island needs money, and a lot of these places are being hit hard. When he went down to Puerto Rico, he went in an interesting time. Make no mistake, the island doesn't need bad publicity right now. It's bigger than just this, and they're trying to build this shit up and get the people comfortable. And then a report. All you need, boxer gets brutalized in Puerto Rico with everything that's going on right now. And Tio knew exactly where he was standing. He wasn't like in Puerto Rico. You know where he was.
Oh, yeah.
San Juan, bro.
Yeah, but who was with them? That's what bothered me. Amanda Serrano, her manager, hugging him up, dabbing him up. Nah, bro, fuck that. Nope.
But Amanda knows that Tio doesn't define boxing. Promotes boxing. Amanda showing love to at least a Latin fighter, and Tio's grimy ass using Amanda to try to get the respect back to the Puerto Ricans. Now that's just Tio trying to like do damage control. Maybe he might have gave Amanda a few bucks. I don't know. But, Amanda's always a class act. So I can't make Amanda. Now, her coach, he's the flip side of Amanda. Now, I can see the coach saying, man, Tio, fuck you. But the fact that he also shook his hand or whatever, then he might have been told. But listen, I've never seen that dude hold his tongue. Amanda's the class act. Amanda's going to promote boxing. Amanda's she's not here to be the woman to be like, fuck you, Tio. That's not her place.
Yeah, was shocked more with Jordan Maldonado. I really was, man. But whatever, man.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, I got to get on up.
Hey, yeah, listen, I'm going to cut this short, man. I'm Cano. Logo, let the fans know where they can find you.
Let me do something. Let me see if I could do it like this, because I have no idea how to fucking. Let me just put my link in there.
Yeah, drop the link in the chat. Yes.
I think that's it. Yeah, should take you. Oh no, I can't do that because I don't got a wrench and it's not gonna let them click on it.
Oh, okay.
Same way my name is Cano Loco TV. The way you see my name in there, that's it.
Hey, yo, and thank you for stopping by, man. It's been my pleasure, man, to have you up on the show. My co-host, Frontline, we be up here, always throwing back names and talking boxing, and I love it. I love it. It's when someone comes in that knows his stuff, and we can just have a conversation like men,
And we did pretty good. We only mentioned Naoya one time.
Hey, yo, stop it. Why'd you have to mention...
Frontline, don't ruin it, okay? Don't ruin it.
Yo,
Edwin, I am going to be patiently waiting for your retaliation video so I can laugh a little bit.
No, I already made it.
Did you?
Yeah, but it's on a fucked up video. It's like 2 videos back and skipping. So I left it alone. Anyway, listen. Cano, love you, man. Thank you for stopping by. It's always been a pleasure. Mr. Miyagi, thank you for the love and support. Thank you for everybody that tuned in here at Round One Sports Talk. Please do me a favor and give the video a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And like always, I'm on to the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk. You guys have been amazing. Love yourself. And I'm out.